my book and wax friends. I'm Amber if you're new. Welcome back if you're returning. Today's video is my 5-star predictions video for the third quarter of the year. So this is from July through September. So these are 10 books that I think and hope will be 5 stars. So let's jump into it. Some I don't have on me. Some haven't released yet, and then I do have a pile right here. So we're gonna run through all the synopses and see if my predictions end up right. Definitely check out my second quarter 5-star prediction wrap up to see how many of those predictions actually came true. It was a pretty good quarter, I have to say that. So, okay. First book I have is A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. She is the author of the Divine Rivals duology. The official name is called The Letters of Enchantment, I think, and Wild Reverence as well. And this is a duology. This is the first book in the duology, and it is like Scottish, Irish type of folklore. Let's read what it's about. It starts with a letter and an ominous journey across dark waters. Jack Tamerlane is summoned home to Cadence after becoming a bard, but his return is not a joyous one. Girls are going missing from the island, and Adara, future leader of the clan, believes Jack is the only one who can find them. Enchantments run deep on Cadence. Gossip is carried by the wind. Plaid shawls can be as strong as armor, and the smallest cut of a knife can instill fathomless fear. The elemental spirits that dwell in every breath of air, splash of water, blade of grass, and flicker of fire find mirth in the lives of the humans. Kidnapping the Tamerlane girls is a step too far, though, and it is only through a bard's music that the intangible spirits can be summoned to explain where the girls are. So it sounds good. I've heard the series is so good. I have actually started it a little bit. I'm not very far into it at all, but so far I'm enjoying it. So I have a feeling it could be 5 stars. So that is A River Enchanted. Then after that is Brighter Than Before by Courtney Walsh. And I love Courtney Walsh, so this one is kind of isn't a far-fetched prediction, because all of the books that I've read by her so far have been 4 to 5 stars in between that. So it's a pretty safe prediction, but I'm still going to predict it because you never know. So let's see. After a painfully public discovery shatters her marriage along with her picture-perfect country club life, Claire finds herself suddenly single and faced with a blank page of the future. On that page, she writes a simple list that reads like equal parts dare and daydream. Move to a new city, make a real friend, get a job I love, and she vows to accomplish every single one. Before she can talk herself out of it, she takes a step of faith, puts her old life in the rearview mirror, and leases an apartment in Chicago, the city that has always had her heart. This one step sends Claire on a journey of self-discovery, giving her courage to conquer her fears, one checklist item at a time, and showing her that life can be a whole lot brighter than she imagined. So, I know, like I said, I'm pretty sure that one's going to end up panning out and becoming a 5-star. Okay, the next one I have to share is one that I have pre-ordered. It releases towards the end of this month, and that is Sea of Charms by Sarah Beth Durst. This is the 3rd book in her Spell Shop series. They are interconnected standalone, so you don't necessarily have to read them in order, but I definitely recommend reading them that way. But the series is so fun. And this 3rd book is about a lady who is a supply runner. Let's read the synopsis. So it says, Marin is a supply runner with her own boat that she sails from island to island, delivering whatever anyone will pay her to deliver. Letters, flour, even the occasional enchanted lemur. It's a lonely life, but it's hers, and she wouldn't trade the freedom of the sea for anything. Her only companion is a sea serpent, Perry, whom she saved from the fisherfolk's net. One day she sails to Elysium and discovers the city is on fire. There's been a revolution and the empire has fallen. Marin, with Perry, begins transporting refugees, finding them new homes where they can start over. One such refugee is Dax, a composer who refuses to leave behind his instruments, no matter how much she tries to emphasize the gravity of the situation. Intrigued by his stubbornness, his passion for stories, and his charming smile, Marin discovers perhaps she isn't saving him. Maybe it's the other way around. So I love the first two, and I'm so excited to get to this one. So I definitely hope that it's going to be 5 stars. Okay, after that, my next 5-star prediction is Miss Bunkle's book by D.E. Stevenson. This is a women's fiction story. Came out, I think, in the 30s originally. And I've never read anything by D.E. Stevenson, but I've heard really good things about this one. And it has some magical realism elements in it, as far as I know. And you know, I'm a fan of that. So let's see what this one is about. Who knew one book could cause so much chaos? Barbara Bunkle is in a bind. Times are harsh, and Barbara's bank account has seen better days. Maybe she could sell a novel if she knew any stories. Stumped for ideas, Barbara draws inspiration from her fellow residents of Silverstream, a little English village she knows inside and out. To her surprise, the novel is a smash. It's a good thing she wrote under a pseudonym, because the folks of Silverstream are in an uproar. But what really turns Miss Bunkle's world around is this. What happens to the characters in her book starts happening to the real life counterparts. Does life really imitate art? So yeah, definitely magical realism sounds like, and I love the cover. You know, I'm a fan of beautiful books, and I really think this cover is so cute. So I'm definitely hoping that will be a 5-star. After that one is a Regency romance, a clean Regency romance. It's called The Heart of War by Olivia Snow. And this one I've heard really good things about. Let's see. So it says London, 1815. If love is war, then London's marriage mart is a battlefield. And Helena Weston is its most cunning general. As the diamond of the season, Helena has never struggled to collect suitors, but when her father's fortune collapses, she faces the unthinkable, marriage not as a conquest, but as survival. Using I don't even know how to say his last name, TZU, if you know, let me know down below. I think it's just Zeus, but I could be wrong. The Art of War as her courtship playbook, Helena has only 2 months to secure a husband rich enough to save her family from destitution. She selects 3 candidates for her scheme, including Edmund Hawke, a handsome newcomer to London with a mysterious past and an insufferable tendency to jeopardize her carefully laid plans. With her future on the line, Helena must decide what victory truly means and whether surrendering to love is the most strategic move of all. So I've heard that the banter in this is amazing. I follow Olivia Snow on Instagram, and I love her content. She is so funny. And so I'm sure that this book will be just as funny. I have high hopes for this. So hopefully 5 stars. The next one I have is a fantasy book. I think this is on the cozier side of fantasy. Possibly it is Truth Cursed by Angie Dickinson. And this one, let's see what it's about. Speaking the truth can be a dangerous thing. Cressida Hoth is alone in the world, orphaned and unwanted. She is inflicted with a peculiar curse by her mischievous aunts and banished to a finishing school in the secluded kingdom of Durnmont. Students train in every accomplishment suitable for young ladies: music, dancing, etiquette, and strangely, poison making, fencing, and lockpicking. The school is a front for a rebel spy ring, and when her training is complete, Cressida is selected to join a mission to infiltrate the kingdom's royal court. She has been thrown unceremoniously into a world of ball gowns and espionage, but she is still under a curse, and it threatens to expose them all. Defending her teammates and her secret, Cressida discovers that the kingdom's buried history and the truth behind her curse run far deeper than she imagined. So that sounds super fun. So a little bit like Ella Enchanted, a tiny bit is what it sounds like, which I've never read that book either, but I've seen the movie, and it seems kind of similar. So Truth, Curse, I'm hoping is going to be 5 stars. Okay, for after that is one I'm waiting from the library. Plus, it's more of a fall type read because I actually had started it on audiobook, but then I was like, oh, this feels more fall, so I'm going to save it. And that is Stay for a Spell, which is a cozy fantasy by Amy Coombe. And let's see what this one is about. It is, like I said, a cozy fantasy. So let's read the synopsis for this one. Princess Tanadel of Widdenmar is disillusioned with the life as a princess. She longs for real conversation, the chance to build a life of her own making, and uninterrupted reading time. During a routine royal visit to the town of Little Pepperidge, Tandy's dream comes true when she finds herself cursed to remain in a rundown bookshop until she unlocks her heart's desire. Certain that someone will figure out how to break the curse eventually, excuse me, and delighted by the prospect of an entire bookstore of her own, Tandy settles into a life among the stacks. She finds it easy to exchange balls and endless state dinners for teetering piles of books and an irritatingly handsome pirate who seems bent on stealing her stock. She even starts to believe she's stumbled into her own very happily ever after. There's just one minor problem. As Tandy's royal duties go unfulfilled, her frantic parents start sending princes to woo her, each one of them certain their kiss will break the curse. After all, what more could a princess want but a prince? That sounds so fun. And as I said, I had started the audiobook, and the first couple of chapters I was enjoying, which is why I was like, you know what, I feel like this will be a 5-star. So that is Stay for a Spell. After that is a given. I would be shocked if this wasn't a 5-star, but I had to put it on my predictions. And that is The Mirror of Infinite Endings, which is the novella that follows the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy by Stephanie Garber. That comes out towards the end of September, and I will be reading it right away. I've already pre-ordered multiple copies. I had to get different copies, but I have to add them to my beautiful series that I have there because they just make me happy. So anyway, I definitely think those will be, or that novella will be a 5-star read, and it follows what happens at the end of the 3rd book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. I talk about the series all the time, so I'm really not going to go that much into it, except to say it's one of my all-time favorite series, and I have reread them multiple times. So anyway, so this follows that trilogy, and I'm very excited, very, very excited. Okay, after that one is one called The Crimson Throne. This is by Sarah Rausch and Beth Revis, and this is a historical fantasy. So there are some like historical elements to the book. So let's see what this one is about. It says, betray your country or betray your heart. Samson Calthrop's curse has isolated him from everyone he has ever cared about. So when the opportunity arises to break the curse, he grabs it. All he has to do for his freedom is risk his life and become a royal spy. Using every bit of the skill and resolve he's picked up on the streets of London to infiltrate the court of the Scottish Queen and uncover a plot to assassinate Queen Elizabeth. For years, Alyth Graham, one of those, has been protecting Mary, Queen of Scots, from threats, both physical and magical, including from the Queen's own husband, Lord Darnley. Alyth is more than meets the eye, though. The child of a fey prince and a human mother, she is among the most powerful protectors in Scotland, guardians sworn to defend against the Redcaps, a bloodthirsty fey clan that Lord Darnley is in league with to overtake Scotland. As Alyth and Samson circle each other in the volatile and glamorous Scottish court, both seek to uncover threats to their own countries. They have one unifying link: their shared hatred and suspicion of Lord Darnley. That and their undeniable pull towards each other. Using secret codes, hidden messages, and a little bit of magic, Alyth and Samson unravel a plot centuries in the making. Lord Darnley is only a pawn, and in this game, the queen takes all. That sounds so good. This released last year, and I know it was one of my most anticipated, so I'm so glad to finally have it. And it just sounds amazing. So that is The Crimson Throne. And then last but not least is a cozier fantasy again. And it is Once Upon an Apple. Look how cute this cover is. It's so adorable. This is by Gabrielle Landy. And let's see if it has any. No. It's like a retelling of Snow White. I know that. It doesn't really have a synopsis inside. I'll look on Goodreads real quick. It says a Lord's son, a milkmaid, and 7 mischievous goats. So that sounds super cute. So let's see what the actual synopsis is real quick. Let's see. Once upon an apple. Once Upon an Apple. There we go. So this is book number 1 in her Gallimere Chronicles. So there's multiple different books, and they're all like fairy tale retellings, reimaginings. And as I said, this is a Snow White one. So this one, let's see. Okay. After running from her past, Sophia built a new life for herself in the Northlands, taking a job as a milkmaid for the local nobility and creating her own family with the friends she meets at the Cozy Cat Cafe. She spends her days spoiling the goats and finally feeling safe. But something is still missing. She wants more than just safety. She wants love and a real family of her own. Lord Caspian Rendon has returned home to, in his father's words, get serious and contemplate his life's path. As a third son, he doesn't have much other than his title. And while the past 2 years of training in the Royal Guard have set him up for a potential career, they haven't done much in the way of finding him a wealthy wife, which had always seemed to be the more appealing option of the two. When he runs into the beautiful, sweet, and always kind Sophia taking care of his little sister's goats, he begins to realize there's more to life than marrying into wealth. Where is it? As the baby goats, a mischievous little sister, and fall festival planning keep bringing Caspian and Sophia together, he starts to fall for the goat girl. But when Sophia's mysterious past finally catches up with her, Caspian must make a hard choice. Can he risk it all for love? or will he never see her again? So, sounds so cute and cozy and magical and wholesome. So that one I have high hopes for as well. So that's it, you guys. Those are my 5-star predictions for the third quarter of the year. Obviously, I want every book I read to be 5 stars, but these I have high hopes for. I have a good feeling about them. And yeah, I'm excited to get to them. So thank you for spending some time with me. Have you read any of these? Do any of these sound good? What are some 5-star predictions that you have on your list that you're planning on reading in the next couple months? I'd love to know that as well. And I appreciate you. Thank you so much for spending time with me. Please like and subscribe if you haven't yet. And until next time, take care. TTFN. Ta-ta for now.